what's good? Today, Medal of Honor Beta.
Yeah.
I'm liking it.
I'm loving it.
Actually, I hated it when I first played it. But I learned to like it, and after some videos that were posted yesterday, it has promise.
Yeah. That's you talking about the videos Snow and I did?
Well, that video as well, but no, actually, some other videos that.
Oh yeah, that's the one you did in that post. Yeah.
You had the combat,
the combat mission.
Yeah, that it was pretty.
You worried about the maps?
Yeah. See, I'm not a close quarter type of shooter type of person.
The beta map is it's not exactly small, but I think they focus the action in one play. They do a good job of that, because you ever notice when you spawn, you kind of spawn like not too far from the objective, which is crazy.
Right. So then there's somebody waiting in the corner waiting for you to spawn.
Yeah, they had to fix that.
Yeah, but I mean, you said you like the mechanics of it.
Yeah, the shooting mechanics is definitely on point. It's definitely the Frostbite 2.0.
Yeah,
it feels tighter than Battlefield for sure.
I don't think so. I don't think that it's as tight. I mean, when you play Battlefield, like literally, if you take a silencer and put it on an M16,
right, it
will react like it has a silencer.
You can't put silencers on.
Sure, you can.
Guns in Battlefield. Oh yeah,
yes, you can.
I forgot.
It's been that long.
I haven't played Battlefield in a while.
Yeah, so I believe when it comes to I believe they over exaggerated some of the weapons on Medal of Honor Warfighter. I can understand what they were trying to say or where they're trying to get at with, let's say, the heavy gunner.
That dude's horrible, man. That gun's got, whatever gun that is, got wild recoil.
And that's my point. I mean, we know that yes, if it's a helicopter gun that she's walking around with at the end of the day, but
the chopper.
Yeah, it's just all over the place. If you're not burst shooting, you're not gonna hit anything, or unless you're right up on somebody. And the idea behind using that weapon is to add suppressing fire.
It works. I've seen. Let me tell you, I agree with him until you get to the other end of the goddamn spectrum. You behind a wall, can't move.
Yeah,
I guess it takes time for people to learn how to use the classes.
But demolition,
you love the demolition. I don't like it.
It's like modern Medal of Honor. Like, what was that in Battlefield? That was the engineer class.
Yeah,
it's like a Medal of Honor's engineer class, which they didn't have in a way in the previous.
No, they didn't.
Yeah, somebody had a rocket.
So most of your time was in demolition, dude.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's he's so destructive. Like, I like that.
I like the point man.
Point man is good as well. That's my second choice.
I figured it out when I dropped about 50 kills on somebody. And said, all right, this is my class from now on.
Yeah.
The gun felt nice.
It definitely did. It allowed you to do a little more maneuvering.
Yeah, he's fast too.
Demolition is the slowest. He's like walking like RoboCop.
Nah, isn't the armored dude the slowest?
That's demolition.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah. So it's all in all, like at first the game felt very cheesy. It was like seemed like it was too overglossed. It was like it looked like they were trying to make a Battlefield version of Call of Duty. All right, so
it's different though. It wasn't what we were expecting.
It wasn't,
because I was expecting like a Battlefield ×2 minus vehicles, or like a Medal of Honor 2010 ×5.
Yeah,
it's none of those. It just has its own unique feel.
It does.
I kind of dig it.
It does, and I'm psyched to really play the actual release, because I really want to know what the maps are like. And from what I see, they look good. There's the home run gameplay that they have, where it's kind of like capture the flag, King of the Hill type of thing. So you capture the flag and you're hauling ass with it. They're trying to get you. So I've always liked that since Halo. We talked about that.
Yeah, Halo. Halo's coming too, actually.
Oh yeah,
Halo's coming. We'll reserve a whole episode for Halo. Let me tell you.
Oh yeah. Do you have old footage that you can cue in? of Halo, right?
Probably.
Yes, I think you do.
I think I have some
Utter madness.
Somewhere. I'll find it.
So we look forward to that. Forza Horizon Beta also dropped.
Another big title.
That was what, Friday? Well, the 5th was
I think it was Thursday.
So, I like this. I've always been a fan of open world games. I like the ability to drive around and you can just like wander the map, looking around like. Yeah. So this is what it's like if I was driving in, Colorado.
And they did a fair bit of. That was the whole deal with the open end thing. They wanted them to really recreate something for you to do.
Yeah.
In the open world. There's only like 3 events we could do in the beta, but I think you got a good feel for it.
Yeah, it was impressive.
Not bad.
They didn't really like oversaturate it with tweaking and take this engine out, put that engine, and take this.
But there's upgrades though.
They are, but they kept it minimal.
It feels good though. It feels like Gotham. If you know Project Gotham, you just had a bunch of cars and classes, and you just rocked out. It was fun nonetheless.
And it's all about really driving. If the players on your team are used to driving with the stick shift and all of that, well, if you're using an automatic, you're gonna get smoked. So that's pretty clear and cut.
I enjoyed it, man. The sense of speed was awesome.
Yeah, I can't seem to take your time down on one of those.
Join the line because Shifter tore my times down. I don't know what he does. This guy's a cheater.
He is. I don't know. He's modding his Xbox or something.
Crazy.
But oh Lord. So Apple has managed to get Baby Bop to join in with the purple dinosaur himself. And so where exactly is this greenish tinge glow?
I don't even know. I couldn't find a screenshot. I was trying to find like somebody that took a picture of it. So whatever's going on, there's some grumblings of people having a green glow on the iPhone 5 screen. They said it happens like periodically. It comes on, comes off, and it's in the Apple support forum, some of the other Apple site forums, and supposedly but I don't think it's enough people for Apple to come out and say, I think it's just like a few tens of people, maybe hundreds. I'm not sure, but people are confirming iPhone 5 users, and they said they took it back and they gave them another phone.
So we have purple, which is on the line of blue, violet. You get purple. It's green.
Right.
So I expect red, yellow, and blue.
Red will probably happen when it starts overheating.
Right. Yeah. So we actually will now have the spectrum of the rainbow. Like,
that's in there. That's in their logo.
It sure is.
They had for like 10, 15
or
years.
Maybe this is like some sort of, Nokia has all of these colors, so what we're going to do is we're going to embed these random colors into the screen that you can't get rid of.
It's just buffoonery. But speaking of purple, so Consumer Reports now comes out and did their little test, and they pegged the Galaxy 4, the Galaxy S3, and the Motorola Droid Razr
one of
Max. Fix the names of these phones, and apparently they were able to reproduce the purple haze with these phones, right? But there's 2 things here. Why does Consumer Reports feel the need to run to Apple's rescue? Like, what is that?
When Consumer Report is usually the one who points out, okay, look, you got a problem with this.
Like, it's an issue. People and the thing that's bugging me is, mind you, this is what it comes down to. They're saying, well, if you know anything about photography, then lens flares are a very real thing, and it's all about the light getting into the lens and reflecting. And well, yes, but people weren't complaining about this on the iPhone 4 and iPhone 4S and iPhone 3GS. People didn't complain about it on a Galaxy S3. So why would you not go and force it to happen and say, oh, well, look, it happens on every other phone?
I mean, and what's crazy is like, okay, what are we running here? We're recording right now. We're running a Canon, right? Right. We're running a LED light.
Well, no, this is different.
Okay.
Because the light's got to be on the other side, and it's got to be coming directly into the lens.
Oh, really? So, hold on. Let's see what we can do here. Is there any blue tinge? Any red, green, yellow? This is the buffoonery.
It's pretty bad. Like, they just, it's strange that Consumer Report comes to their rescue to give them a bly.
Right.
Like, something's strange there. Something's off.
Yeah, it's called, listen, what we're going to do is we're going to hit you off with about 2 million, 3 million.
Maybe a little more.
And a little more. And you're going to tell the world that, it's just a solar flare. Yeah, that's what it is. It's a solar flare. So, they're actually coming towards us every year a little closer. Don't worry about that. And they're purple. So
it's crazy.
It's all buffoonery. And
your boy
Wozniak goes on, and
he might as well work for Microsoft. I don't understand what the problem is.
Well, Wozniak, they say, is actually is still a little bitter because
what Steve did to him. Did Steve do anything to him?
The board of directors basically determines who lives and who dies on any company, and they pretty much axed them, I believe, in the 90s, and that's it. I believe now he's really bitter, but I don't think so much is bitter. He's just more honest about certain devices that are out, and he's going to be honest about the iPhone. And what he said was pretty much they're just very arrogant in everything they did.
That's nothing new.
No, of course,
But we had conversations like this before, and I always told people, this was like 4 or 5 years ago. I said the bigger Apple's getting, the less of that culture, that core culture, you're gonna find. And I wrote articles about this. I can't hate Apple anymore like I used to, because the Apple fanatic that me as a Microsoft fanboy would go after doesn't exist anymore, hardly.
Right.
Apple is now a consumer company. So for me to hate Apple would be to bash my mom. Like, she doesn't really care. It's an iPhone. It's what's hot. That's what she's gonna get.
Right.
So the bigger they get, it's less concentrated, and they can't stop it. And the bigger you get, the more problems you get.
Of course.
Right? And it's something they bashed Microsoft for years about. Oh, the big giant moving slow and slow and slow, and here it is.
How slow?
Who's moving slow? iOS 4 is the same as iOS 5 is the same as iOS 6. Your iPhone 4 is the iPhone 4S is the iPhone 5. That's moving slow.
Very slow. Snail space.
Apparently, it's not as easy as they thought, which is a lesson Apple learns again and again, right? You thought being a big company was easy, so you bashed Microsoft.
Right.
You thought making your own maps was easy, so you
bash Google.
Sorry, Apple. Growing pains, son.
Yeah, that's what it all boils down to.
So I think he's less a part of that culture.
Right, and he's more of a he speaks for the techie out there. If this is what you like, let me explain to you why you should like it. You know what I'm saying? If this is what you don't like, well, shit, I'll explain to you why you don't like it, and so on and so forth. So, and then you have Samsung coming up on the heels, who I personally, with everything going on, is like, whether it's legal battles with Apple, so on and so forth, they're literally like, they're smacking Apple left and right.
They are. And I think for the first time ever, Samsung has the first Android competitive phone to the iPhone, which is the S3. The S2 was making its way there, and the S3 solidified it. They can compare, like, when you speak, Android is a lot more sales and activations, and like, it doesn't matter. It's across 50 different OEMs, 400 different models of a phone. Show me one phone, one Android phone that could baffle the iPhone. And I think the SG3 is it.
It certainly is.
So Samsung found themselves. It was worth it, that battle. It gave them a lot of publicity, I thought.
I think it did too. And what I referred to it as in a post I did about Steve Jobs was really big fish in a small pond. There are no small fish in this pond. There's only big fish. So what's happening is, when you deal with something possibly equally as strong as you or slightly stronger. There isn't any all-out attack. There's you bite off and you try and see if you can wound. All right. So now, what Apple tried to do with Samsung was they tried to kill them, and they couldn't. And inadvertently, they cut themselves. So now you have all of the issues with the iPhone 5, so on and so forth. I mean, their notebooks and so on are absolutely trash. That's where Microsoft is going to come in and totally eradicate them. But now let's focus on the devices here. Samsung eradicates them with the Galaxy S3. Here they come with the Galaxy Mini. Yeah. All right, which is gonna it's a lower scale, but it's going to snatch everybody by storm. So now everybody who contracts are just about up with those 4S's and 4s. Yeah, that's what they're gonna get.
A lot of people thought the screen on the SG3 was a little too big, so this will fit right in, especially as a 4-inch screen, which is the same size as the iPhone 5. Surprise, surprise.
Yeah, but it's wider.
It is a little wider. It doesn't look silly.
It doesn't. So now, what do you have to say about that, Apple?
This is Apple's strategy. Samsung is doing here. Mm-hmm. Samsung Galaxy S3 Mini. I'm sure Apple will try to sue for that.
Oh, of course. I see it coming.
What? You've got a rectangle with a screen? We'll sue for that.
Of course. And it looks like a pebble. Didn't we have something looks like... Actually, I took a look at the first iPhone. It looks like a pebble.
It does.
It does. So
a lot of people thought that... No, the second gen... They thought was the best. Was it the second or the third? I think a lot of people were partial to the second.
The 3GS, everyone loved. They said it was perfect. Of course, once they got multitask, but they said that the 3GS was one of the best iPhones to come out.
I like the 4.
They all look like shit. They all look like shit. They all look the same.
They do all look the same, but I like the 4.
And Samsung again. Outside of the cell phone, mobile, whatever, they have this Galaxy camera coming out.
That's dope. Sorry, that's dope. This was the promise with Android like 4 years ago. That this thing would be on phones, tablets, GPS units, toasters, fridges. It's here now. I think that's dope. A smart camera? Is that what we would coin it?
Yeah. I couldn't buy it ultimately because if my Galaxy S3 shoots relatively decent.
But it's not a real camera.
Right. But you know what? Now what you're having people do is for the sake of Instagram and Facebook, they're carrying around something else to the party.
But if somebody's always going to carry around something. Let me tell you. I'm going to credit this to Apple. I have seen jackasses. Jack. Is there anything higher than a jack? A king, perhaps.
Horse's ass.
I have seen king/horse asses at events with iPads like this.
That's crazy.
At graduations, at concerts. What are you doing?
Yeah.
This is how Apple sells so many of these things. You people are idiots. What are you doing?
Yeah, it's rather ridiculous.
Mind you, the camera in their pocket, the real camera, is yay big. Yay big and this thin. And you're going to record on your iPad with the video quality of a what? A calculator?
Yeah, it's pretty bad. So,
I started taking pictures of them. I've got a folder with like 16 pictures of people at events. This is a real thing.
It is. I've seen somebody do it, and I looked at them and was like, "Would you like to borrow my camera?"
Idiots.
Phone. So.
But I think the Galaxy Cam is dope.
I think it will sell, but I'm just not buying it. I can't buy into something that is just going to add on to whatever I already have. But that's me. That's me.
So you'll never buy a camera again?
Well, I'm going to buy a SLR. But
what happens if you had an SLR with Android on it?
Well, then it makes a little bit more sense because now I have great pictures that I can send out.
Some of these regular cameras have great. Most of them have great pictures.
Well, you know what?
We haven't looked at them in a long time. I'm telling you, Sony is like kicking ass in that market. Olympus has got some good stuff.
Sony has been doing their thing.
Canon is always those regular cameras, and you can get them for like $150, $200.
You're right. Well, what I'll do is maybe we can get a hold to this Galaxy camera when it releases, and we'll see what we see. see if
I'm hoping it's a really good camera.
Right.
I hope it's not just like a niche product.
Hopefully I can, and maybe I'll change my mind if I have it in hand, and stay tuned for that. Nokia 920 exclusivity to AT&T. Personally, I'm laughing all the way to AT&T. I mean,
we have like 3 lines.
Hey,
you got 3, I got 2.
Yeah,
we don't give a shit.
I mean, and ultimately, the gadget guy in me is the reason why I have 3 lines, because I will never miss a release.
Yeah, you can't tell me I don't have an upgrade. I'll just open another line.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I don't have time for the buffoonery. Give me the phone now.
Yeah, right now.
It
all of its crispy newness.
It happens.
I can't.
Do you think it'll hurt the phone?
Well, it's like I said, if it didn't hurt Apple, then it shouldn't hurt Nokia.
But Nokia is not Apple. Apple's on a pedestal.
Yeah, well, Apple's pedestal is being worn away by the beavers that gnaw at it.
So I'm playing devil's advocate because I wrote a piece on this, right? And
right.
AT&T, they supported Windows Phone from the start.
Right.
Right. And everyone else was like, kind of, sort of, yeah. They did the George Bush, that Chris Rock did. You gotta wait till the economy bounce back. And they weren't really too gun-ho. Verizon went the other way. Sprint, I don't know what they did.
T-Mobile was the only one.
T-Mobile had the HG7. So, I mean, AT&T's been there. And they've been there time and time again. When the Nokia 900 came out, they moved anything Apple to the back of the store.
Or at least one row down.
Yeah.
That's something we'll talk about on a later date.
And I remember when I was...
Marketing.
Yeah. I was at 14. I was at 14th Street on the second day of release. Mm-hmm. And those phones were moving. So I feel like AT&T earned their exclusivity.
I believe that as well. I mean, AT&T, they have taken risks with OEMs. They've taken risks with OSs from beginning to end.
Yeah.
All right. At no time has AT&T ever said, well, you know what? We're not going to sell that.
Right.
What if you go to AT&T, if you want it, you can find it there. And that's one of the problems that a lot of people had with Verizon. All right. Sprint didn't step up until they got that Android HTC.
Sprint never sucked. They didn't step up. They got lucky. The Evo.
Really, the Evo.
They got lucky.
You get the Evo. Everybody went Google Gaga over it, and now where is HTC?
Yeah, HTC posts something like a 74% decrease in profit, like last quarter or the last 2 quarters. Some craziness.
Who's that?
HTC is in trouble.
Yeah, and you know what? That's where more or less one of the software companies are probably going to step in, and they're going to really give them some breathe a little bit of life back into them. Something that RIM is trying to steer clear from.
No, RIM. That's a whole nother tangent.
Exactly, and RIM will be where they are. I don't believe that they're 10. What is it? 10 Model 10 OS 10
OS 10.
They're
arrogant too.
Yes, they are.
What was it? The CEO said the other day he's confident they can secure the number 3 spot.
Really?
And if everyone's pointing at Windows Phone like, sorry, Windows Phone, this is not number 3. I don't know if people pay attention to analysts, but in 2015 is the year Windows Phone is slated to leapfrog iOS. So you might want to rethink that. RIM, they can't. Like I said, 2015 is when the analysts said, okay, you can look forward to, right? And these are people that supposedly
know everything. These analysts,
but a few different ones have predicted iOS to get leapfrogged by 2015. So anyway, the point is, whatever number 3 spot RIM is fighting for is some whimsical number. First of all, we don't know who will be in number 3,
right?
And second of all, that's F. They can crawl their way back to the market.
Exactly.
I think they should just shut up and hold down the number, whatever spot they happen to come back in.
Number 4 or 5. It's just BBM is not enough. Their devices are far too bland. The developers are actually, they're running for the hills away from RIM.
They don't have any more developers.
Absolutely not. Like at most they have Facebook. They won't be getting Instagram. They didn't get Instagram. They still don't have Instagram.
RIM is a non-issue at this point.
It really is. So, now.
Yeah. So back to the AT&T. Yeah. They do take a lot of risk with.
Yeah. Long live AT&T.
I like AT&T.
I actually owe them some money from like 1998.
How did you escape?
Well,
Death Stars.
So the merger. They took over Singular.
Yeah.
So no harm, no foul. I love you, AT&T. Even though I performed the prodigal son. I ran away from you, and then I came back. I went to Sprint after them.
You did.
Yeah.
But I feel like AT&T earned that exclusivity.
They did.
But it will hurt the phone. Because that phone has a very real buzz. That Nokia 920 has a very real buzz. That phone's got every phone on the market beat. Pound for pound, spec for spec. Every single phone.
There is something about that phone that I realized after you asked me to do a post, and I did it. On the EQ.
Yes.
The EQ that comes equipped on the Nokia 920. Now, so I'm watching a video and I'm looking at the premise of the video, and it's about Nokia music.
Right.
I believe that EQ is specific to Nokia music.
I don't think so. You think so?
Yeah.
That's gonna suck. But Nokia music still pulls your Zoom stuff though, so it doesn't matter.
That's the only good part. Is now we'll probably be forced to use Nokia music.
I don't care.
Yeah. I
don't care. I'll do it. As long as it still plays my playlist and whatnot. Because Microsoft took away the social aspect of Zoom.
Right.
Which is now Xbox Music.
Which killed me. I enjoyed the idea that I could see what he's listening to.
Right. That was a dope feature.
And download, like, there it is.
I don't listen to a lot of hip hop. I listen to Jay-Z, Fabulous, and maybe some Kanye West. So I actually went to I go to his recently played a lot to get a lot of new music.
Yeah.
So that was a really helpful feature.
So hopefully they'll bring it back later.
Maybe we'll see what's going on, because Xbox Music they're still part of the big launch with the whole Xbox redesign and whatnot.
Right.
So we'll see.
You can actually share music through Nokia.
So they say.
Nokia.
I don't know how that is. I don't know if it's your marketplace music or your regular music.
You can share it as an email.
That's cool.
You can share it as I believe it might be linked to Facebook as well. You can share it on Facebook.
Captain Jack Sparrow.
Yes. So, I mean, it's looking better and better and better for Nokia and the Lumia. I for one, I was really headed towards HTC until I heard about the EQ.
Yeah.
So, I hope that the EQ is a part of the function of the device and not the function of an app, because now you're not really, it's not dedicated. It's
HTC has it in the actual the menu
device,
system.
The system menu. So you're talking about the difference between an American quarter and perhaps, let's say, like a European quarter. It's maybe let's say it's the same size, it's just not the same. You know what I'm saying? And it values differently. So we'll see
what happens. I think it'll definitely hurt it.
November, the Nokia. No date yet, actually.
No.
No date.
I think it was, the rumor's like the 26th or somewhere around there.
Why?
I think the HTC 8X is being released the 16th on T-Mobile. So the Nokia can't be too far off. I mean, that's when the Windows Phone 8 launch is going to be. So there's still a lot of secrecy behind that. They released the dev tools, and people are saying there's a lot of the features, because people troll the dev tools and pick it apart and, oh look, we've got this, we've got that, but the rumor is that Microsoft actually has a lot of things locked in there. and they'll unlock it like the day of the conference or the day after. So, I think Windows 8 still got a lot of big secrets. Windows Phone 8 has got a lot of big secrets to come out. So, I expect all the devices to be released around that time.
I hope so.
Yeah, Apple played their hand, fell on their face.
They fell flat on their face.
I don't think Android's got anything left. They got what is the one after Jelly Bean? What the hell is it? 4.2.
Is there something after Jelly Bean?
I think there's something after Jelly Bean. Jelly Bean is pretty good though. I have it on my Galaxy.
I didn't put it on yet.
It's not bad.
Because they said it was glitchy.
It is glitchy, yeah.
Because the Galaxy S3 is like different from everything else. So they're saying like right now the only port that they have comes somewhat from the Nexus.
No, it wasn't a Nexus. It came from something else. They come from Droid. They came from something else, but the ROMs, the chefs will figure it out. They always do. And I'm sure they'll figure it out a lot quicker than the OEMs.
Right.
Not even OEMs, like the carriers get around to releasing or maybe both. That's the problem, right? So, but I like it. But Google, Jelly Bean sucks a lot less. Ice Cream Sandwich sucked a lot less.
Yeah.
I would actually recommend an Android phone over
iOS
6 at this point.
Definitely.
It's got maps.
It does.
That's it. But anyway,
that's episode 10 for y'all. Happy that you were here.
Yeah,
look out for us.
Yeah, like the video.
Like us,
subscribe.
like everything. Facebook. We're gonna get that work. We're gonna get this work. Alright, we're gonna get this work.
Get your life.
We're gonna get this work. Look at you. Emotional. Peace.
Peace.
Yo, what's up? It's your boy London, straight from FGC to Takeover. I just want to give a nice clean shout out to lifestylesdefined.com. If you need anything, any guide to life, go to lifestylesdefined.com.